Hello, my monstrosities. Hello once again. Today I bring to you why I dislike Invasion Fleet. Yes, just like we're finding out with several armies, the detachment for the index is hard to beat. We already knew that for Invasion Fleet. However, Invasion Fleet has a much larger issue on our data sheets on top of that. You see, you have something like CSM, in which you get Dark Pact. So you can choose Sustained or Lethals, and that helps you across the board. You have something like Death Guard, where while they can admit -1 toughness, a lot of their datasheets also has lethals. So there's some punching power there, as well as still getting, well, what everybody wants in their contagions for the index detachment. You take Thousand Suns, where you have magic, on top of the fact that you can choose for like sustained, lethal, or devastating wounds for your psychic attacks. Meanwhile, Tyranids Invasion Fleet gives you more in one aspect and keeps you from getting more in others. What do I mean? So, I have 17 tabs open beyond this one, and they include our entire codex's sustained, lethals, anti, and devastating wounds. Let's talk about what those are. Wing Tyranid Prime! Awesome. Gargoyles, melee bioweapon warriors, ranged bioweapon warriors. The sustained only matters on one of those three. Ripper Swarms. Yes, I'm definitely taking Ripper Swarms for sustained hits 1 on the melee. The Trigon. Yes, I'm definitely taking the Trigon for sustained hits 2 on the ranged weapon of 501. The Tyrannifex. Definitely taking the Fleshvore Hive for sustained hits 1 on 501. Hive Tyrant. First winner. Well, second if you include the Wing Tyranid Prime. Um, they had to circle back and gave lethals to the Hive Tyrant's aura for ranged weapons. Alright, fine enough. Turvy. The Termagants can get lethal hits. Perfect. Zoe's. The last cannon can get lethal hits. Parasite of Mortrex. Anti-infantry 3-up on its 1 extra attack. Hive Crone. Oh, we know we've seen so many Hive Crones this edition. Anti-vehicle 4-up, devastating wounds. Anti-fly 2-up on that 1 extra melee attack. And thank goodness that is devastating because there's 0 AP on that. Hive Guard. 24 inches range for 2 shots at anti-vehicle 2-up. Not devastating, but man, -1 AP for 100 for 3 models. Moloch, it's 1 extra attack. You see the theme here? Anti-infantry 4-up, devastating wounds. Strength 5, AP 0, damage 3. I really hope that you weren't going to wound the infantry on 3-ups. I hope that it's a 4-up. Psychophage. Yeah, everybody's using their Psychophage in melee. Anti-Psyker, 4-up, devastating wounds. Toxicreme, anti-infantry 2-up for both the ranged and the melee. No devastating wounds, but who needs that when you have -1 AP? Venom Thropes, anti-infantry 2-up, still no devastating wounds, and still no AP. Broodlord, thank goodness for you. You have devastating wounds and can give it out to the Gene Stealers you attach to. Termagants, recipients of lethal hits via Turvy, but also the Strangle Web can give devastating wounds. And hopefully you rolled 6s because you are talking about a Strength 2 weapon. And Biovores, who you've probably never been shot by, but they do have devastating wounds on their Spore Mine launcher at AP 1. So again, I hope you rolled the 6s. Now, out of all of those profiles, what are you actually using to accomplish those goals? Hive Tyrant, Broodlord, Wing Tyranid Prime. Anybody else? Anybody else? Any takers? At all? At all? Well, Zoe's. Okay, Zoe's. Yeah, that's it. Now, why is this an invasion fleet problem? Well, because you can't give out much without making it really fucking good in invasion fleet. If you give out something like anti-monster, anti-vehicle 4 up in invasion fleet, that becomes lethal hits and anti-monster, anti-vehicle 4 up, so it becomes cranked to hell. However, to make it worse here, you would have to make it better everywhere else, i.e., attaching devastating wounds. And that's a scary thing to just give. Anti monster, anti vehicle, 4 up devastating wounds? Hell, only the Hive Crone can get access to that with AP 0. Okay? 4 attacks too. Strength 7. Damage 2 per attack. Don't spend it all in one place. We do have the possibility, thanks to the Hive Tyrant, for our ranged weapons to get sustained hits and lethal versus infantry or swarm. A profile that we didn't really need to have this much of a struggle into previously. However, that's also why I'm making this video. With the recent Grotmus detachments and balanced data slate and all the things, GW has pushed the game to a lot of -1 to wound while the strength is greater than the toughness. And a lot of our buffs and Tyranids has come from gaining bonus strength. Warrior Bioform Onslaught has +2 strength for ranged, and thanks to Synapse's change, it's +1 strength for melee while within Synapse range. So, now that progress gets undone for a lot of things. A lot of things. We also don't have access to increasing our AP. So, well, except for Power of the Hive Mind, which is for Tyranid Psyker's psychic attacks, which can only apply to the Neurotyrant. So we go from 512 to 622, and Unending Swarms enhancement that on a critical wound, you get bonus AP. So, 2 enhancements, entire codex, gives something bonus AP. Hell, even if you want to claim Final Day, it only gives the winged hive tyrant bonus AP on that one. So yeah, that's it's not a lot of things that can get bonus AP. We don't have anything to give auras for sustained, like at all. We have lethals for assimilation swarm that has lethals in melee, but beyond that, we have to rely on the hive tyrant. And our +1 to wound is tied to, again, Assimilation Swarm, Brood Guard Impulse, and the Neurolictor, which requires an enemy to fail Battle Shock within its aura. Oh, we also have +1 to wound if our monsters are below half strength in Crusher Stampede. Should also mention that one. This is an issue that I don't know how it can be appropriately fixed, or if it will even be attempted to be fixed, because of how big an issue it may or may not be. It is kind of ridiculous that out of 17 tabs, about 4 datasheets were viable for 4 different keywords I was looking for. Weapon profile keywords. That's more tabs than should be. But yet, none of them are worth a damn out of the entire codex. I guess I should throw up the Neurolictor for +1 to wound, because that's a way to get damage across, but you can't do too many things. You can throw the Neurolictor in Invasion Fleet, but now it's a little too costly for more people's taste. I'm still okay with the Neurolictor. I do wish it would come down in points. You can't give something lethals and anti-monster and anti-vehicle because that's a lot, and then you just make things go pop. You have to give it anti-monster, anti-vehicle, devastating, which is objectively better, and who knows where you can take that. Because it has sustained, oh, mind you, our entire codex does not have rapid fire. Like, that's not a thing we get. Okay? We don't get rapid fire. We don't get tank shock outside of Crusher Stampede because, well, no vehicles. We don't get grenades outside of failing a battle shock test for Synaptic Nexus. Because, hey, that makes sense. We don't get smoke outside of Venom Thropes. So, you have to adapt. But it does feel kind of weird that everything seems to just be missing from you. And then people wonder why they only see the Exocrine, the Maleceptor, the Tyrannifex, Hive Tyrant, because that's where our AP is, and decent profiles. That's where that lies. You're tired of seeing an invasion fleet? I am tired of using an invasion fleet. Well, not me. I've been tired of invasion fleet, so that's a different story. But I'm tired of invasion fleet holding most of the power. Now, I will say, I am still waiting for people to wake up a little bit on Assimilation Swarm. Lethals with a Hive Tyrant, Lethals with the Stratagem for melee, +1 to wound from Brewguard Impulse, +1 to wound from a Neurolictor. I'm waiting for that one to catch on a little bit more. That's why I said I have faith in Assimilation Swarm. But beyond that, it shouldn't just take 2 detachments for us to have easier ways to do damage. I have buffing pieces that are standing in places with Neurolictors, Psychophages, Venom Thropes, all these things. But at a certain point, either my buffing pieces need to be cheaper, or I need more buffing pieces. Right? Hive Tyrant also standing somewhere. 235 points to stand somewhere. Give me lethals within 6 inches and free stratagems within 12. But hey, it's just to say, Invasion Fleet has created an issue into which, yeah, you don't need to worry about putting that on any of the data sheets. That's fine. They'll just get it with Invasion Fleet. You can't give them sustained hits because then they'll take sustained lethals versus monsters and vehicles in Invasion Fleet. You can't give them lethals because they'll do sustained versus infantry, or they'll have lethals versus infantry and lethals versus monsters and vehicles. Can't give them that, even though technically they did, right? But no, you can't just throw it everywhere. You can't give them sustained lethal infantry and lethals versus monster and vehicles. No, it's just too much because everything comes back to Invasion Fleet. You can't give out devastating wounds too much. You can't give out +1 to wound too much. Oh, I'm going to repeat this because who knows which take I said what thing on because I flubbed this a few times. But, everybody else is getting things not only to survivability, right? But we don't have Lance. We don't have Rapid Fire, right? Like, where's my Lance? Where's my Rapid Fire? Everybody's getting stealth, -1 to wound. Where's my AP? Where's my Lance? Where's my Rapid Fire? Where's my Sustain? Where's my Anti? Where's my Lethals? Where's my stuff? That's basically what the gist of this is where's my stuff? Because again, you can't do it because of Invasion Fleet. Lethals and Lance versus monsters or vehicles? Goodness. What am I, a Blood Angels player? Come on now. You can't give that out. Sustained rapid fire? What am I? I was going to say an Orcs player, but the SNAS gun is not technically rapid fire. Um, but yeah, this is not necessarily a rant, or it wasn't intended to be a rant. It's more of a observation that I hope gets addressed given the way the game is pushing. I hope they're more willing to fix some of these data sheets or give us a way to do things. Like, come on. Wing Tyranid Prime, make it an aura. Make it an aura. That way I don't feel bad about spending 215 points for 7 models with a 4-up save. But hey. Yeah. If you like the video, like it. Got a comment for me, comment. And until next time, peace out, my monstrosities.